Every day, I share another story from the Golden Age and the quiet moments that shaped an unforgettable era. If you would like to keep these memories alive with me, consider subscribing. It costs nothing, yet it truly helps. Thank you for being here. Now let us begin. Ron Howard has finally spoken about his connection to Jim Nabors, and the story behind it has drawn renewed attention. Ronald William Howard was born on March 1, 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma, and from the very beginning, his life unfolded beneath studio lights. His parents, actor Rance Howard and actress Jean Spiegel Howard, were not simply part of the industry, they lived within it. Ron absorbed that world naturally, almost effortlessly, as if it had always been waiting for him. From the earliest days, it was clear his path was not shaped by chance. It felt guided, steady, and certain. Ron's career began at a remarkably young age, and national recognition followed quickly. He was never just another child on television. There was an ease to him, a sincerity that drew people in and held their attention. By the age of 6, Ron stepped into a role that would define an era, Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show. As the curious and open-hearted son of Mayberry's calm and principled sheriff, he connected deeply with audiences. After the series came to an end, Ron did not drift away, as so many young performers once did. He continued forward with quiet determination. Through his teenage years, he refined his craft patiently, role by role, until he stepped into a part that carried him into a new chapter of recognition. Richie Cunningham on Happy Days. Richie embodies the clean-cut, idealized spirit of 1950s America, and Ron played him with a sincerity that gave the series its emotional center. While other characters drew attention with louder personalities, Ron kept Richie steady and believable, offering audiences someone familiar, dependable, and deeply human. Even as the spotlight grew brighter, Ron never allowed recognition to change his course. He remained grounded and focused, carrying himself with a calm assurance that earned respect both on camera and behind the scenes. There was no rush to chase trends or headlines, only a steady commitment to the work itself. Then came the quiet turning point. Ron did something few child actors managed with such grace. He expanded beyond acting. At a time when many struggled to redefine themselves, he made one of the smoothest transitions Hollywood had witnessed. Stepping behind the camera, Ron revealed a thoughtful and disciplined creative voice. His directing path began with the low-budget comedy Grand Theft Auto in 1977, a project he co-wrote and shaped carefully. From there, his growth was steady and unmistakable. Each project quietly confirmed that Ron Howard was never confined to a single style. In 1984, the fantasy romance Splash, starring Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah, became an unexpected success that captured widespread attention. It was followed by Cocoon in 1985, Willow in 1988, and Parenthood in 1989. Each film belonged to a different genre, yet all reflected the same steady confidence, moving seamlessly from science fiction to fantasy, then into intimate family storytelling without hesitation. As the 1990s and early 2000s arrived, Ron was no longer simply a consistent filmmaker. He had entered a new level of creative influence. His films began earning serious awards attention, solidifying his place among Hollywood's most respected directors. Apollo 13 in 1995 immersed audiences in the emotional tension of a critical NASA mission, while A Beautiful Mind in 2001 brought him the Academy Award for Best Director and Best Picture. These films were more than box office successes. They became defining moments in popular culture. Then, in 2006, Ron embraced another ambitious undertaking by directing The Da Vinci Code, adapted from Dan Brown's global bestseller. It was a daring and high-profile project, the kind that demonstrated Ron's willingness to engage with stories that sparked worldwide discussion.
They were prepared to respond before a single ticket was sold. Various groups expressed concern that the film reinterpreted faith-based history in ways they disagreed with, fearing it might confuse or mislead audiences. Despite the growing criticism and calls for audiences to stay away, Ron moved forward with steady focus. He shaped the film to remain controlled, suspenseful, and thoughtfully paced, balancing complex ideas with careful restraint. The momentum of the story, the layered clues, and the presence of Tom Hanks all worked together to hold the audience's attention. Tom Hanks returned as Robert Langdon, grounding the film with a familiar and composed presence that gave the story its steady grip. Viewers around the world lined up to watch the mystery unfold. By the end of its theatrical run, The Da Vinci Code had earned more than $750 million worldwide, a clear reflection of Ron Howard's ability to guide a challenging narrative with clarity, confidence, and precision. Alongside his longtime creative partner Brian Grazer, Ron also helped build one of Hollywood's most influential production companies, Imagine Entertainment. Founded in the late 1980s, the company grew steadily into a trusted creative force, known for delivering meaningful and successful projects across a wide range of genres. Ron did more than direct films. He helped shape stories from their earliest stages and quietly supported new creative voices across the industry. In 2015, he returned to the director's chair with In the Heart of the Sea, a demanding historical adventure inspired by the real-life events that later influenced Herman Melville's Moby Dick. The film revisited the 1820 loss of the whaling ship Essex when an unexpected encounter at sea left its crew facing the overwhelming force of nature. What followed was a harrowing journey across open waters, marked by endurance, uncertainty, and the limits of human resolve. Visually striking and emotionally weighty, the film focused on the inner strength and determination of those caught far from safety. Reactions from critics and audiences were mixed, yet many acknowledged Howard's ability to capture both the vast scale of the ocean and the deeply personal struggles at the heart of the story. His direction balanced sweeping imagery with intimate human moments, making the experience feel expansive and grounded at the same time. Once again, it showed that Ron was willing to engage with challenging material and bring historical moments to life with care and ambition. His talent for blending history with layered storytelling continued to draw attention. Building on his earlier work with The Da Vinci Code, Ron returned in 2016 to direct Inferno, the third installment in the Robert Langdon series adapted from Dan Brown's novels. This chapter carried Langdon into a complex puzzle tied to Dante's Divine Comedy, unfolding as a tense race against time filled with hidden symbols and carefully placed clues. Ron Howard's careful work on the Robert Langdon films reflected a deep commitment to translating complex novels into films that audiences could follow with ease. His attention to structure and clarity, and along with his determination to sustain that cinematic world, showed a filmmaker comfortable with layered material and high expectations. In 2018, Ron shifted direction once again, stepping into one of the most recognized franchises in film history. Solo, a Star Wars story, marked his entry into a standalone chapter exploring the early years of Han Solo, a character long associated with Harrison Ford. Expectations were intense, and the scrutiny surrounding the project was impossible to ignore. Alden Ehrenreich took on the role of a younger Han Solo, supported by performances from Woody Harrelson and Emilia Clarke. Behind the scenes, however, the production faced significant challenges. Ron stepped in after the original directors, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, departed due to creative differences with Lucasfilm, placing the responsibility of steering the film squarely on his shoulders. Despite the circumstances, Ron brought stability to the process and guided the film through completion. The story examined Han's formative years, the relationships that influenced him, and the experiences that shaped his future path. While the film did not reach the commercial heights of other entries in the series, many viewers appreciated its polished action sequences, strong visual design, and engaging performances. On November 24, 2020, Ron released Hillbilly Elegy on Netflix, a dramatic adaptation of J.D. Vance's memoir, written for the screen by Vanessa Taylor. The film featured acclaimed performances from Glenn Close and Amy Adams, both widely recognized for their work. Despite the notable cast, the film was met with a challenging critical response and received largely unfavorable reviews. Even so, Ron continued forward, once again showing that setbacks never defined his direction. In March of 2021, he began work on 13 Lives, a tense and carefully crafted drama based on the real-life 2018 Tham Luang cave rescue in Thailand. The film premiered in select theaters on July 29, 2022, before arriving on Prime Video on August 5th. Unlike the earlier project, this film was met with strong critical appreciation. Reviewers praised Ron's measured approach, highlighting the emotional weight, precision, and respectful handling of a complex real-world event. It marked another reminder of his ability to adjust, reflect, and deliver with quiet confidence. That same year, Netflix acquired The Shrinking of Treehorn from Paramount Pictures, a meaningful milestone in Ron's career. It became the first time he stepped into directing an animated feature, further expanding his creative range. Around that period, he also took on Eden, a dramatic thriller starring Jude Law and Ana de Armas, continuing his steady exploration of new genres and storytelling forms. Away from the screen, Ron's personal life remained grounded and consistent, anchored by his long marriage to Cheryl Alley. The two were married on June 7, 1975. Cheryl, born December 23, 1953, has been a constant and supportive presence through every chapter of his career. Together, they built a home and a life defined not by spectacle, but by stability, trust, and shared growth, even as Ron's professional journey continued to evolve. She provided steadiness, quiet strength, and calm, even as the world around them moved quickly and loudly. Their marriage is often pointed to as a rare example of lasting devotion in an industry known for intense pressure, constant visibility, and demanding schedules. Through the years, their bond has remained intact, a reminder that some Hollywood love stories truly endure. Ron Howard and Cheryl have always stood firmly beside one another, choosing to protect their family life from unnecessary attention. Together, they created a home defined by warmth, creativity, and shared values, far removed from the constant glare of the spotlight. Their 4 children became the center of that world, bringing meaning that went far beyond professional recognition or public success. Their children are Bryce, Paige, Reed, and Jocelyn Howard, with 2 of them eventually stepping into the entertainment world. Bryce Dallas Howard, born in 1981, has grown into a respected presence in Hollywood, recognized for both her acting and her work behind the camera on major film and television projects. Her achievements are often traced back to the supportive and creative environment shaped by Ron and Cheryl. They have always avoided placing family matters on public display, choosing instead to strengthen their relationships quietly and keep family at the center of their lives. For decades, that sense of discretion defined Ron Howard's personal world. Yet one professional relationship from his early years has long carried whispers and quiet speculation. His connection with Jim Nabors, his co-star on the iconic Andy Griffith Show. Both men were widely admired for their roles, Ron as Opie Taylor and Nabors as Gomer Pyle. On screen, their world felt warm, gentle, and reassuring. Behind the scenes, however, the reality was more layered than audiences ever imagined. In recent years, Ron Howard chose to speak openly for the first time about Nabors, offering reflections on their working relationship that had never been publicly shared. Known for his measured and reflective nature, Howard had previously avoided discussing Nabors in depth. When he finally did, he described a dynamic shaped by both respect and difficulty. He acknowledged Nabors' undeniable talent and presence, while also explaining that working with him could be challenging. According to Howard, Nabors' behavior off-camera sometimes created strain, leading to moments of tension that were confusing, especially for someone so young. Howard shared that the contrast between Nabors' warm on-screen persona and his private conduct was difficult to reconcile. While audiences saw a light-hearted and friendly character, those close to the production experienced a more complicated atmosphere. This contrast between the warm public image and the private reality placed a quiet strain on Ron Howard during his formative years on set. Watching someone so admired by audiences behave so differently away from the cameras was deeply confusing. The cheerful, easygoing presence viewers embraced did not always reflect what Ron experienced behind the scenes, and that disconnect was difficult for a young performer to understand. By choosing to speak about these moments later in life, Howard offered audiences a clearer understanding of the complicated environment that shaped his early career and the emotional challenges of growing up within fame while navigating tension. He explained that the unease extended beyond simple differences in personality. According to Howard, certain behaviors created an atmosphere that felt uncomfortable and unpredictable for those involved. This strain reached beyond the daily work itself, influencing his personal development during some of his most impressionable years. Speaking openly was never an easy choice. Ron Howard understood that honesty could invite criticism, especially reflecting on someone so widely admired and whose legacy had only recently come to a close. He has shared that it took many years to fully process those early experiences and to recognize that truth still matters, even when it feels uncomfortable or challenges long-held beliefs. By finally telling his story, Howard offers audiences a more complete and thoughtful portrait of Jim Nabors, one that acknowledges his undeniable talent while also recognizing that his behavior behind the scenes was not always gentle. These reflections have reopened conversations among longtime fans of The Andy Griffith Show and television historians, inviting a deeper look at what truly shaped those classic productions. It gently disrupts the nostalgic image of a flawless, harmonious cast, reminding us that even the most cherished stories can carry unseen tension. In sharing his experience, Howard quietly encourages others to speak with honesty about their own journeys, helping move the industry toward greater understanding and accountability. By breaking his long silence, Howard has allowed a rare glimpse behind the curtain. He reveals the contrast between a public persona and private reality, and how those moments affected the people working nearby. In doing so, he honors his own truth, while offering a calm and reflective reminder that the world behind the camera is often more complex than it appears. If this story resonated with you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments and consider supporting the channel by liking and subscribing. See you in the next story.